Let's play a fun game I invented called Which is Most Dense. So we have 4 cubes, W, X, Y, and Z, and they all have some kind of size. We have 2 smaller cubes and 2 larger cubes. The smaller cubes are 2 centimeters on each side, and the larger cubes are 3 centimeters on each side. They all have some mass as well. These little circles all represent 1 gram of the matter inside. To calculate density, the equation is D equals m over V. When you're first learning density, you tend to stick with grams for mass and cubic centimeters or milliliters for volume. But in reality, density can be any mass, such as kilograms, and any volume, like liters. Let's go through and calculate the mass of each cube by just counting up the little circles, each of which is 1 gram. So we have 7 grams for the first one and 7 grams for the second one. For the third one, we have 16 grams. That's a lot of mass. And for the fourth one, we have 12 grams. If you think that density and mass are basically the same thing, it would be easy to assume that the third cube, Y, is the most dense because it is pretty large and it does pack in a lot of mass, 16 grams. But we have to go farther and also calculate the volume. To calculate the volume of cubes and prisms like this, we're going to take the length and multiply it by the width and the height. So it's 2 centimeters times 2 centimeters times 2 centimeters for the small cubes. When you do calculations like this, you not only have to multiply the number, so it's going to be 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, but you also need to calculate or multiply the units. Centimeters times centimeters times centimeters is cubic centimeters, or centimeters cubed. Now we have the volume for both the small and the large cubes. We have all 4 cubes as volumes. We need to divide to calculate the density. So now we have our units for density, grams per cubic centimeter in this case. The units for density will depend on the actual units that you use for the mass and the volume. It's a derived unit. So what we learned here is that Z has the largest density, not because it has the most mass. Y has the most mass. And both X and Y have the largest volumes. So density isn't just mass or just volume, it's a ratio that expresses how much mass is in a given amount of volume. And effectively what this means is that Z packs the most mass into a given amount of space. That's why it has the largest density. This also is the only one with a density above 1, which means that if you were to put all 4 of these cubes into water, water has a density of 1 gram per cubic centimeter, or 1 gram per milliliter. If you were to put all 4 of these cubes into water, only one of these cubes would sink and the rest would float. Which one would sink? The one that has a density greater than that of water. Because the fourth cube, cube Z, has a density greater than 1, it's going to be the only one to sink. All the rest are going to float because they have a density less than 1. So to answer our question, Z is the most dense.